Justin was big time today. We haven't had a defensive player like that since who? He's probably the best defender in the league right now. Buck didn't guard anybody. He gonna guard my grandmother. You know, are we on here?
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, ask Justin, it seemed as if you guys came out really determined to set a physical tone, especially off the glass in that first half. Did I read that correctly? It certainly appeared that way in the first half.
Kevin, I thought our preparation was really good. You know, we talked about it again. When you watch film of this DePaul team, they're skilled. They have 2 of the better scorers. They have 3 of the top 6 rebounders. You know, they're second in the league in rebound. I mean, they fly to the glass, and it's a credit to our players, you know, determination and will to try to fight for everything. You know, we were able to set the tone early, and it just was able to carry through for, you know, I thought we played a really, really good game today because this team, again, this team is scary watching them on film. So they had our players' attention for sure.
Hey, Ed, what's the confidence level of this group like when you guys, you know, win 8 in a row and all the good things you guys are doing on the court? Do you feel that every time on the court, it's your game to win?
Well, I mean, you know, you're not trying to count them in a row. Again, the players and the coaches' mantras go 1-0 today. You know, again, you know, if you get happy or you get content in our league, you're going to get beat by 100. So I think it's a credit to the maturity. Again, we have an older group out there. They've been great in our preparation. They've been really, really good asking questions in the scouting reports. I give our staff a lot of credit. The coaches are doing a great job presenting it to the team and then presenting it to the staff on what we got to try to do to execute both offensively and defensively. And guys, this is a DePaul team that's talented, averaging close to 80 points a game, playing on the road. This is one of our better road wins we've had in a long, long time. So, you know, it's a credit to the players.
Hey, Ed, where's your defensive mindset right now? Are you pretty happy with where you've been playing?
We are. I think it's a fair question. Our guys, you know, we're trying not to give up any easy baskets. You know, you want to make every team earn everything, whether it's at the rim, whether it be a tough 2. Try to take the 3 away. Threes change the game. Anytime you're giving up multiple threes, indication. I think we were up by I don't know 20 something, and then they make back-to-back threes. You know, you got to try to make it a tough 2 game and try to get to the free throw line as much as you can. And if you do that, you normally control the game.
And when someone like Nate Watson is willing to dive for a loose ball up 21 points, what sort of message does that send to the rest of your guys?
My man, great question. Honestly, really, really astute. It sends the message that no matter who you are, if you're determined to win and you're determined to do the things it takes to win, those to me are called hustle plays, winning plays, energy plays, culture plays. It's a really big credit to Nate, really big credit to him setting the tone, you know, being a 5th-year guy at 200 and damn near 70 pounds, getting on the floor like that. That's a great observation there. Thank you for noticing that.
Ed, first off, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Brandon.
Wanted to ask you about when you have Al and Jared out there, 2 guys who can attack the rim, either finish or kick back out to teammates. How much have you seen since Jared's come back, maybe an offense that you envisioned when you brought Al to a PC last spring?
Well, we've always wanted to try to play multiple guards, and you know, there's a method to the madness in bringing him off the bench after he's come out of the injury. I think he changes the pace of the game. He gives us a different look. Anytime you have a secondary ball handler on the floor and you have some options out there that can make shots, and you have a post presence like Ed and Nate, I think it gives you a good floor balance and you're able to spread the floor a little bit. They just have to be a really good quarterback and making sure the right guys are touching the ball in their sweet spots.
Any update on AJ?
I don't. I know we heard it pretty good, swollen pretty good. You know, I got to wait for the medical report from the doctors and from our trainer. Right when we do that, we'll definitely let you guys know. As of right now, you know, it's wrapped up pretty heavily. And, you know, I just pray it's not something that's going to be long lasting, because he's a big weapon for us.
Ed, what does this say about your group with AJ with limited minutes and Nate not scoring that much today, that you guys still able to do what you were able to do today?
Well, it shows the balance of the group. You know, I mean, again, if you would have told me yesterday that my big boy would go 1 for 9 and, you know, AJ would play 8 minutes and we were able to control a game, you know, I'd be lying to you, but it goes to tell you the determination of the group, the focus of the group, and the other guys taking opportunities when their number was called. So it's really a good team win for us.
The
And
attacking
there-
mentality
there-
too.
ahead,
The
Coach.
attacking mentality. The fact that in the first half you're able to, control the paint, and it's not just Nate down there, doing what he usually does. It's the attacking mentality that you had going to the basket.
Absolutely. Something that we wanted to do. We want to touch the paint as much as we can. We always talk about this. The teams that touch the paint the most probably have the most urgency to win. And it's a really high priority for us to try to get paint touches, whether it be off the drive or the post catch. Try to play in transition a little bit and touch the paint. And I thought Jared, I thought Breed, and I thought Al Durham try to do that consistently over the course of the game. And again, when you look at the balance of the league, guys, the balance of the league, I want to make sure we always talk about our league, the competitive nature from top to bottom. For us to come in here and to play that well against a team coming off a tough loss on the road, it's a credit to the players.
At the last 5 or 6 games, you've done a good job taking care of the ball. And I know today you guys were very judicious with your shot selection. I wonder just maybe how those habits allow you to help control pace against a team like DePaul wants to get up and down a little bit.
Well, again, I thought our defense dictated the entire tempo of here. We didn't play as well as we wanted in the second half. I thought we had some uncharacteristic turnovers. But again, you're still playing with somewhat of a new group, and playing with a lead like that, sometimes it gets hard. And I love your word you use, judicious. That's a Clark Kellogg word right there. So, you may owe him some money on that one. I think this is 3 or 4 games in a row where we haven't had double-digit turnovers. So if you're not turning the ball over and you're getting to the free throw line and you're rebounding, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win games.
Hey, Ed, off the court, when you're on an extended road trip like this and confidence is high, guys don't have schoolwork. What do you look forward to the next couple of days? Obviously, you're
preparation for Marquette. I mean, we're not here to enjoy the Windy City or go up to no. It's a business trip, And again, when you got an older group like that, you really appreciate their focus on that. Honestly, more it's just a matter of, hey, let's get some rest tonight. We're going to stay here in Chicago tonight and then head to Milwaukee tomorrow after a walkthrough. We got 2 days to prepare for a Marquette team that's coming off of a brutal double overtime loss. And I think they've lost a couple of games in a row. So we're going to have a really, really hard game at the Pfizer Arena. And I just, if we continue to improve, and that's what the staff continues to talk about, let's get better today, let's improve today, and let's prepare for our next opponent.
Yeah, and your early impressions of Marquette, knowing that, 3 out of the last 4 years you've had overtime games have gone down to the wire, high scoring, grinded out, and the sort of position that they're in, like you mentioned, 4 straight losses to good teams. I mean, what do you think, goes down Tuesday, and what do you have to do?
Well, number one, their offense, they do a great job with their ball screen offense. They're really, really good in transition. They have some guys that can really defend the rim. They have one of the best defenders in the country in Morcell, who's from Maryland. Tyler Kolek is, leading the league in assists, and, we're really, really familiar with him. We're going to have to prepare, and, when you're not playing at the dunk, you got to try to steal some games on the road, and we've been fortunate to get a couple. So it's a credit to the players and our veteran leadership.
And I know it was Jones' first game back for DePaul, but, he finished 1 for 9 today. Does that kind of speak to somebody like Justin kind of locking him down like you talked about a little before you came on?
Justin is not spoke of enough to me defensively on what he brings, his energy. And again, everybody always looks at the box score. Again, he's really improving his shooting. Our staff has done a great job keeping him in the gym, keeping his confidence high. But Justin is an elite level defender. And he's one of the better defenders that I've ever coached. And this is going back to when I was with Coach Skinner. We had guys like Kenny Harley. We had guys like, what's the whack job? My guy from Michigan. Ryan Sidney. I love him. And he was probably the toughest kid we've ever coached. We had the other kid from Boston there. He is an elite level defender with that size, athleticism, and energy. Wow, that's pretty impressive that he's able to do that. And he's been doing it consistently all year. He has to guard the best players. He should be easily the front runner for the Big East Defensive Player of the Year for sure.
Coach, I don't know how much you've gotten into the game plan for Marquette yet, but I know you've coached against Shaka Smart before. You had a home-and-home with him when he was at Texas. Is there anything from those games in the past that can translate when it comes to scheme, or is this really a fresh new situation?
Oh, it's a totally different, totally different style they're playing. They have different players. He's still getting his group together. He's first year there. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, it's the Big East. All the games are hard. So, I just want to prepare to win by one, get on the plane and come home, and then prepare for our next home game. So it's good, but I hope you guys have had a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I definitely wanted to make sure we did this so we get our home people back, with this here. Are there any other questions? Because I got to get some water. Any more questions? Are we good?
Appreciate it, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks,
Much love.
man.
Happy New Year.
Go
Thanks,
Friars.
Ed.
Happy New Year, guys. New Year's resolution, win tomorrow. Talk to you.
All right, thank you, guys. We'll do the
Thank you.
same for Marquette.
No, them win tomorrow, not me.
All right.
We don't play.
Thanks, Arthur.